This week, we are studying ways to make our reading sound great. You have learned to pay attention to punctuation and the way words are printed. You have also changed your voice to match the different characters and their feelings.
Today I want to teach you that to make your reading sound its very best, you need to read with a loud and clear voice. You also need to find a pace that is just right. And you need to add some sound effects to make it more interesting. First, let's compare some readers and see if they are using a loud and clear voice. If you hear a loud and clear voice, give me a thumbs up. If they're not using a loud and clear voice, thumbs down. Here we go.
Later that day, Ivy sat on the swing and drew circles in the dirt with her paw. If only I had I could, Castle.
Oh, you're right. That did not sound loud and clear. That reader was mumbling, and it made it very difficult for the listener to understand the story.
Later that day, Ivy sat on the swing and drew circles in the dirt with her paw. If only I had Princess Mimi, I could play castle. Now that was reading with a loud and clear voice.
Let's talk about reading pace or rate. You want to find a pace that's not too fast, not too slow, that is just right. Let's listen to some reading and decide if it's just right.
Outside, Ivy could stand it no longer. She dug up the time capsule and pulled out her doll. Then she noticed the box was empty. I bet you were thinking, that was too fast. Let me try again. Outside, Ivy could stand it no longer. She dug up the time capsule and pulled out her doll. Then she noticed the box was empty. Oh dear, that was too slow. That kind of reading would make my audience fall asleep. I better try again. Outside, Ivy could stand it no longer. She dug up the time capsule and pulled out her doll. Then she noticed the box was empty. There, I found a pace that was just right. Not too fast and not too slow. Finally, to make your reading more interesting for your audience, you can add sound effects. You can easily add sound effects with your voice or with objects that you find around the house. Often the author tells you exactly what kind of sound effect to add. Listen. She took a deep breath. Zelda, your lucky jewel is missing. Did you notice how I added a deep breath sound right after the word said she took a deep breath? Sometimes the dialogue tag can give you an idea for a sound effect. This dialogue tag says wailed, so I'm going to use a crying voice and I'm going to add a little crying at the end. Listen. My poem is ruined, wailed Zelda. She threw herself down on the floor. On this page, the author tells you that Ivy hears salsa music. This is a great place to add a sound effect. Listen. Pretty soon, salsa music drifted out the window. I bet they're dancing, said Ivy. Readers, I want you to make your reading sound great today. When you are practicing, remember, look out for punctuation marks. If you see special print, change your voice to match. Be on the lookout for speech bubbles, quotation marks, and dialogue tags. Remember to change your voice to sound like the characters. And make your voice match the characters' feelings too. And don't forget to read loud and clear. Find a pace that is just right and add a few sound effects.
I can tell that you are ready. You are ready to make your reading sound its very best, and the kindergartners are just going to love your read-along books. Off you go.